shot. Put it up. Yeah. Right. Nice one. Nice work. See? Come on, Larry. Yeah. Larry, come on. How about we go? Come on. There it is. Come on. Oh! Come on. Yeah. Oh, nice pass.
And then he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus answered him, I tell you the truth, you will be with me in paradise. Gary Ellison Sloan, it's time for you to stand up and take account for the 6 women you brutally murdered.
Father, there are only 5.
No more lies. God is listening. He is forgiving. He is merciful.
I killed 5. And not one more.
Sounds to me like someone got lucky.
Fat chance, Christine. I'm married.
Oh, yeah. So what's up?
Poetic justice.
Whoa.
Yeah, it took 8 of us to finally nail this bastard. Carved off 6 women back in '87.
This was your case?
Even the bleeding hearts were screaming for the chair. No, a guy like him deserved a lot more than life.
Apparently he got it.
Well, like I said, poetic justice.
And how well did you know Mr. Sloan?
Gary spent most of his time in solitary confinement, but he requested sessions with me regularly.
He was a religious man?
It's hard to say. He was fond of the Old Testament, liked to chew over weighty theological issues. Looking for loopholes, I suppose.
Yeah. Did you ever get the impression he was having you on?
Doubtful. He was always pretty straight with me.
So you couldn't have misread him?
Inmates are a strange lot. They're either easy to read or they're not. No middle ground. Gary was an open book.
Could he have been delirious when he made this confession?
If I thought that were true, would I be here right now?
No, I guess not. Okay, thanks for coming down.
Guess who we tracked down?
Who?
Chief of Security at Ambleton School.
Yeah, we were thinking he might know something about why Michelle Ripley and Billy Wells escaped.
Or why they ended up dead. You want in?
Yeah, but you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Excuse me, the way I remember it is you wanted to do them in yourself, didn't you? Yeah. Hey, maybe we should send the inmates a couple of bottles. No, it's a team effort. Yeah. No, you go on ahead and crack a cold one. Yeah, I'll see you there. Right. Bye-bye. was Aiken over at Homicide. Boys are having a celebratory barbecue. Sloan burgers, fat and juicy.
Nice. You gonna go?
Hey, I wouldn't miss it. So what's up?
That was Father Griffith. Does that name ring a bell? He's a priest at Garrison Penitentiary.
Yeah, so?
So, Gary Sloan confessed to 5 murders before he died.
And your point is?
5. Not 6.
Is this some kind of a joke?
Of course not. Look, I just want to take a look.
Gary Sloan raped and dismembered 6 women. Case closed.
Yeah, I just want to take a little peek at the file. It's probably nothing.
It is nothing, Allie. I was on that case. Do you have any idea how hard we worked to put this one down?
Okay. Right. Enjoy the barbecue, Andy.
I will. Thank you.
Hi, it's McCormick. Yeah, listen, can you pull everything you have on Gary Sloan? Yeah. Yeah, and listen, let's keep this quiet, okay? Thanks. Bye.
So you were the chief of security at Ambleton School for only 1 year, is that correct?
That's right.
Did you enjoy your time there?
Wasn't Club Med, but it paid the bills.
Why'd you leave?
Oh, let's say conflicting ideologies.
Care to elaborate?
Hamilton School was an experimental facility for juvenile delinquents. It was supposed to be about education, but it changed.
How so?
Well, after a couple of kids escaped, there's a crackdown on security. More guards, stricter rules. I wasn't the man for that job.
Sounds like you didn't agree with the changes.
They thought it was a prison. I thought it was a school.
Do you know who they brought in to replace you?
But I remember the kid they brought in to oversee the changes. Young go-getter. Cage. Desmond Cage.
Why does that sound familiar?
You might have read his name in the paper. He ended up becoming Deputy Minister of Education. Can you believe that?
Thank you.
Look, I don't mean to be rude, but I have got a lot to do. I have to be out of here in a week.
Well, the kids were asking you about our dead, Mr. Cage, so we'd appreciate your help.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Priorities tend to get a little tangled around here. Please.
As former headmaster of Ambleton School, what can you tell us about Michelle Ripley and Billy Wells?
Oh, gosh. Well, they were admitted together, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was fall of '86.
Did they spend a lot of time together?
Every waking minute. It's real Jack and Diane stuff.
Tell us about the escape.
That would have been December of the following year. Bill and Michelle went missing. Probably went over the east wall like all the others.
Others?
We had our fair share of escapees.
Didn't he have guards?
Apparently not enough. I tried to bring in more guards, but that didn't fit in with the liberal agenda on which Ambleton was founded.
And what happened to the other escapees?
None of these kids were exactly Mensa material. They rarely got far.
Is that why you didn't notify the police when Bill and Michelle fled?
We didn't call the police.
You don't remember?
It was a long time ago.
Think hard, Mr. Cage.
Well, to be honest, security usually handled these situations.
Without your authority?
On smaller crises, yes. And if they didn't call the police, I presume it's because they felt the situation was under control.
We're gonna need the files on those kids. You think you can help us out?
I'm afraid not.
Well, we have a warrant.
It won't do you any good. The Ambleton files have all been moved to corrections.
I've been waiting a while for this, huh, Chet?
You don't know the half of it. Listen, Andy, I haven't ever told you. My wife and I can't thank you enough for all your support over the years.
Forget about it.
Really. I mean it.
Well, 14 years of waiting's over. Sloan's dead, and may your daughter rest in peace.
You know what's funny? Ever since Jennifer died, I prayed for this moment. As if it'd make everything right. Now that it's finally happened, I feel nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I bust my ass for 11 months closing this case, and you're checking up on my work?
You know, I hate to be the one to tell you this, Andy, but this is not about you.
It was my investigation.
You and 7 others. Now, I've got new information. I'm going to look into it. We go where the new leads take us, Andy.
Is it that difficult to believe that there are people other than you who are actually capable of being competent cops?
I am not accusing anyone here, you know?
We knew what we were doing.
What if Sloan was telling the truth? What if someone else killed one of those women?
We got our man. Case closed. That's an order.
Andy, stop it. Stop it! Andy!
Jennifer McLean. First year college. Aaron Matheson. Parents' only child. Dreams never stop when we put this one down. This guy was twisted.
I gotta admit, I've never seen anything like it.
Thought himself a regular Picasso. Cut off their ears, eyes, noses. Arrange them on their torsos.
It's like he's mocking you.
Do you really think someone else could have done that?
I don't know, Andy, but anything is possible.
So what are you thinking?
Maybe someone who was aware of Sloan's MO committed a murder and threw it on his pile. Sloan made no effort to hide the bodies. He wanted people to see what they looked like. I mean, it's no secret what he was doing to these girls. It's possible that some freak decided to copy him. That's something we have to look into, Andy.
Okay. Let's say Sloan wants to be famous. That's why he displays the bodies. Then what the hell is he doing dropping his body count? I thought serial killers normally exaggerated their kills.
Oh, you think normal is a word we should be using here? What are you doing?
Well, I'm not saying you're right, but just thinking maybe we should start ourselves a cold file.
We?
Yeah, we. Me and you. Partner.
I don't have time for this right now, Allie.
Well, then I'll keep it short and sweet. You represented Gary Sloan. Do you believe he killed all 6 of the women he was convicted for?
Of course I do.
And you can say that for certain?
What the hell can you really say for certain?
You ever get the sense that he may have inflated his body count? He may have lied?
These guys are all the same. One day they're completely innocent. The next they're claiming 400 bodies scattered from here to Dawson City.
Yeah, but did Gary Sloan ever specifically say that?
Gary was proud of his killings. That bastard thought he was an artist. That's all I know.
We're off the record here, Marcus.
Off the record, I couldn't tell you exactly how many people he killed. When I saw the headlines, I felt all warm and fuzzy inside.
All of the victims were swabbed for semen and showed signs of vaginal tears.
And all the semen was ID'd as Sloan's.
Looks like they never got that far. Sloan copped to all 6 before the lab came back with results.
You didn't follow through?
We had a confession, Allie. Do you know how hard it was to get a DNA test 10 years ago? Can you track down those records?
I'm swamped.
This goes right to the front of the line, Laura. Now I ask you again, can you track down those records?
It's possible.
Okay, thank you.
Any luck with the warrant?
Justice of the Peace has given me an ASAP.
Translation, don't hold your breath. Well, let the runaround begin. I've got better things to do with my time.
He's following some bogus Jane Doe. Don't get me started. What's that?
This is a tape of Michelle when she was alive. Her mother sent it to us.
Throw it on.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to get to know her yet, you know?
What you thinking?
Oh, if we're right, one of these murders is a copycat. How the hell did it elude us the first time?
I wouldn't have looked that way either.
Hey, I didn't ask to be let off the hook. Besides, Sloan confessed to all the murders at the time. Why did he do that?
Well, all I can think is what Marcus said. To Sloan, these murders were art, and he didn't appreciate someone honing in on his territory.
So when the circumstances became apparent, he just rolled with it.
Yeah, I mean, he probably read the details in the newspaper, saw the similarities, and, you know, rather than admit that he could be plagiarized, took credit for it.
Then has a change of heart in his deathbed.
Exactly. Which is why we have to explore all the possibilities. Andy, we have to talk to the families.
Check the transcripts, Allie. Did this already 14 years ago.
It's time to do it again.
I'm not going to reopen those wounds.
Welcome to my life, Andy. That's what a cold case is.
The answer is no. Me, Inspector, you, Sergeant. Understood?
You have to stop making this about you.
Every waking second I thought about this case. Eating breakfast, mowing the lawn, sitting on the goddamn crapper. And I wasn't alone. We looked at this thing from 1,000 different ways, turned over every stone.
And you got your man.
Damn right we did.
So everything was flawless.
We got our man.
You trying to convince me or you? There's no such thing as a flawless investigation, Andy. You, of all people, should know that.
Worst year of my life working that case. I ever tell you that?
No?
No, my wife could tell. Said I slept different. So my laugh was off.
We've all been there.
Now you want me to go back?
No. Listen, I know how close you are to these families. I can't handle this myself.
No, if there's something wrong with the initial investigation, I want to be there to make it right. Hi, Chad.
Andy, how the hell are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Listen, you got a second?
Well, we're just about to have dinner. Would you care to join us?
No. Allie's waiting in the car. It'll only take a second.
What's this about, Andy?
Well, it's no big deal. Just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, that's all.
If I didn't know you any better, I'd say you're acting like a cop.
Well, just out of curiosity, do you guys still go to that group therapy session? You know, with the other victims' families?
We get together every couple of months, sure. Why?
Everybody shows up? All 6 of the families?
All except for one. You remember Terrence, right?
Terrence. Oh, yeah, he's a bit of an odd duck, wasn't he? So he never shows up at any of the get-togethers?
I don't think he sees much of anybody, really. Poor guy went a bit off the deep end after his wife was killed.
Yeah. You ever talk to him at all?
What exactly are you getting at?
Well, I'll be straight with you, Chad. We're investigating the possibility that one of the murders was committed by someone other than Sloan.
But you said this was over.
I know. I'm sorry, but it has to be explored.
You explored this 14 years ago. You telling me you didn't do your job? So, are we suspects now?
No one's calling anybody a suspect.
And if you'll excuse me, my dinner's getting cold. Incidentally, Sharon and I were at the Orpheum the night that bastard carved Jennifer's face.
Sorry.
I'm guessing that didn't go too well?
Yeah. I just think he's the one I know.
You know, it's still not too late. I can work this with Harper.
Not a chance.
Besides, it'd be better all around. The cards aren't exactly stacked in your favor, you know? Nobody wants to play the cop who screwed up. And that didn't come out right.
No, it's all right, Allie. You're just saying what everybody's thinking. I'm the cop who screwed up.
Nico Savalas? Todd Fernley, Corrections Department.
This is Detective Collender. She is working on the case with me.
Hey, how you doing? So, do you have the files?
Yeah, I've been reading about this place. Hamilton was quite the school. Did you know it was inspired by a similar facility from Holland?
Can't say that I did. The files?
Quite the free thinkers, those Dutch. Or is it the Danes? I'm never really sure.
We're kind of in a hurry.
Radical ideas about rehabilitation. You should read our research. The files, right. Well, it's not good. As you can see, all files regarding Ambleton Reform School were transferred over to CFD on September 16th, 1989.
CFD?
Central filing depot, where all files, government files, go once they've endured a period of stagnation.
What exactly is a period of stagnation?
Well, that depends, but usually about 8 years.
Okay, Ambleton closed in June of '89. That's 4 months.
Pretty short period of stagnation.
Yeah, I just work here.
Can you get us the files?
Well, that's the bad news. It's not our department. I'm afraid you'll need another warrant.
Thank you.
Okay.
You know, I already talked to this guy.
Andy. Mr. Kempler, we're from Cold Squad. I'm Sergeant McCormick.
And I'm Andrew Polachuk. You might remember me from the previous investigation. Can we come in?
We just have a few questions we'd like to ask you, if that's all right. I understand, Mr. Kempler, that your wife was murdered 14 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Uh-huh.
They say the best way to cope with grief is to share it with others.
Is that right?
Have you found the grieving sessions helpful? Mr. Kempler, could you look at me, please?
I don't go.
Why not?
I don't much care for those people.
How long have you lived here, Mr. Kempler?
20 years.
20 years. This is the castle you promised your wife, where you'd both live happily ever after?
You're talking about my wife. I choose your words very carefully.
I don't think he meant anything by that, Mr. Kempler. Do you think it would be possible to get a glass of water? I take it we're going for a ride downtown?
Yes. And you're going to do all the talking. Thank you.
So let's just review here, Mr. Kempler. On December 8th, the night Judy Kempler's body was found, you were working?
That's right.
Where?
I was a laborer for my aunt and uncle. They redesigned condos on the east side.
And this was under the table? Conveniently, so there are no records of your precise...
You think Sloan was a bedwetter?
Excuse me?
They say 60% of all serial killers are bedwetters past the age of 12. You think Sloan was a bedwetter?
Well, we're not talking about Sloan right now. We're talking about where you were on the night of December 8th, 1987. So if we could just have a chat about your wife, all right? Now,
76% of all serial killers come from the USA. Did you know that?
Could we stay with Judy?
That leaves 24% of serial killers for the rest of the world, which works out to less than 1% per year. So when you factor in the provinces and the population base and the relatively small number of documented cases, then technically, Gary Ellison Sloan should never have existed.
You're something of an expert on this subject.
I used to sneak a peek at Judy's face when we went to the movies, just to watch her laugh.
All right, can we just focus here for a second?
I need to get back now.
I'm sorry, Mr.
I need to go home.
Finished her.
You go on. You asked my aunt and uncle where I was the night Judy was murdered. You just asked them.
Okay. But Andy, this woman knows you.
You know, you're starting to sound like a broken record.
Look, I'm just saying that having you in there with me is not to our advantage at this point.
I need to do this, right? Hi, Joe.
Hi, Andy.
Sorry about all this.
We appreciate you coming down here, Miss Sterling.
Ms. Sterling.
Ms.
Now, this won't take long. You were Carla Weathers' partner, is that right?
I hate that term. We were lovers.
What do you remember on the night of August 9th, 1987?
Carla and I had a fight. So I ran off to stay with my parents in Nelson.
And you were there when you found out?
I should have been there for her. This is something I think about every single day.
So you were a coffee supplier, is that correct?
That's right. We delivered to most of the office buildings in the downtown core. I was on my rounds when it happened.
You and Samantha were engaged.
We would have been married in the spring, but Samantha wanted to wait till the summer. Thought it would be lucky. Joke, huh?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what I would have done without Chet and the other families. They've been a lifeline.
So, you and Aaron Matheson were boyfriend-girlfriends then?
I was 17. It's not like we were talking wedding bells.
You've had quite a past. Theft, impaired driving, creating a disturbance.
Like I said, I was 17.
But now you're a fine, upstanding citizen.
I manage.
Yes, you do. As a vice president of her father's company, that's convenient.
Isn't it a little odd that you still have a relationship with her family?
Well, tragedy pulls people together.
So does money.
What can I say? The old guy pulled a few strings. The way I see it, Aaron would have wanted it that way. And FYI, I was a stag the night that freak did her in. I told you that last time I talked to you.
Yes, you did. All right. Which of these victims did not belong to Mr. Sloan?
Let's try playing devil's advocate, using the partners as suspects, see where that gets us.
Okay. Victim number 1, Jennifer McLean, Chet's daughter. Definitely no. Can't be a copycat if there's nothing to copy.
Well, it's the same for Marcia Quinton, victim number 2. Not enough of a pattern established yet.
Our pal Keith was alibied, so that rules out the partner of victim number 3.
Same for Jill's girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the coffee guy was at work.
Right. What about our friend Mr. Kempler?
Is that knuckle checked out? So I guess you're gonna want to close this case again?
No. I'm going to see this thing all the way and then close it for good.
Okay. Thanks.
So get this. Prying these files at a CFD could take up to 6 months.
Is this a joke? Are we like on candid camera or something?
Guys, you give me a headache. I'm working over here.
What is it with you? Always dropping his smart-ass comments and failing.
Well, onto our mysterious file. At least we're trying over here.
Oh, you certainly are.
Hey, maybe you would like to try and get this damn file.
Is that a challenge?
Oh, God.
Hey, Laura, just got your message. What's up?
Right, Andy. You were gonna love this. Believe it or not, these files have been sitting in Toronto the whole time.
Can you give me the shorthand?
Only 5 of the 6 victims were raped by the man presumed to be Sloan.
So there isn't that man out. Let me guess, Terrence's wife, right?
Mm-mm.
Allie, it's me, Andy. You're not going to believe this.
Well, we've ID'd the semen found in all 6 victims.
You do know why you're here, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Gary Sloan didn't kill your beloved girlfriend, did he? You know, Mr. Smart, it feels so much better if you could come clean.
Wait, you don't think it was me, do you? I love my fiancée.
You're not exactly acting like an innocent man here, sir.
I didn't do it.
Then why are you acting like this?
I know who it was. A part of me has always known. There was this guy, Trevor, worked with her in this restaurant. He wouldn't leave her alone. Samantha thought it was cute. I thought it was creepy. He'd phone at 3 in the morning, and then he'd hang up if I answered.
Did he threaten her?
Not her, no, but one day when I came home, there was an envelope with my name on it, and inside was a bullet. Nothing else, just a bullet. It was pretty obvious what it meant.
You ever tell Samantha?
I didn't want to freak her out, but I told her to stay away from him. She thought I was jealous.
What happened next?
One day she came home crying. She said that he'd started to scare her, and that's when I found out.
She was having an affair.
Samantha was an emotional basket case. That creep really knew how to play her.
And then?
I made her call him. I held her hand while she told him it was over.
And then she was murdered.
2 days later.
And you never told anyone?
I was a coward.
Can I help you?
Trevor Ackerley, I'm Sergeant McCormick. This is Inspector Polachek. Could we speak to you for a minute?
What's this about?
We'd like to talk to you about Samantha Gordon.
Who?
Samantha Gordon. She was murdered in 1987. We believe you knew her.
No, I'm afraid I don't know anybody by that name. Now, if you'll excuse me.
We can do this here, or we can do this downtown, Mr. Ackerley. We know you had an affair with Samantha Gordon.
Will you keep your voice down, please? Hi, sweetie. You go in the kitchen, okay? See if Mommy needs some help. I don't know anybody named Samantha Gordon. I can't help you.
When we bring Trevor downtown, I'll be more than happy to talk to him.
I don't know, Allie. Something's not sitting right.
What are you talking about? He had guilt written all over his face.
Yeah, but guilt comes in many shades. And let's not forget, the guy had an affair.
Just give me 10 minutes with him.
I tell you what, why don't you see what you can dig up on the guy first? There's somebody I gotta see.
Tell them I need it within the hour. Well, it's your job.
Mr. Cage. Len Harper, Cold Squad.
I thought we were finished with this.
Not quite. Looks like you've been a little busy.
I am moving.
Oh, right, I heard you're going to be running William Steed's campaign.
We'll see. You follow politics, Mr. Harper?
Well, enough to know your boy's looking like a shoo-in. This won't take long, just a few more questions on Ambleton.
Could we take this outside?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So what can I do for you?
Well, the files relating to Ambleton ended up at Central Filing Depot. Any idea how they got there?
I've been through this already. You'll have to check with corrections.
This happened during your tenure, Mr. Cage. If you know something, tell us. If you can help us get the files, it'll save me a lot of time.
There are channels.
That can be circumvented with a call from the deputy minister.
Which I will no longer be once I start running Steed's campaign.
Oh, so you are going to be running his campaign. Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Then just help us out before you leave.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Mr. Cage, the more you hesitate, the more you look like a man with something to hide.
We are taking a run at the premiership here, Mr. Harper. Do I need to spell it out for you?
Actually, yeah, you do.
All right, then. In this day and age, a simple puff of pot can follow you for the rest of your life. I prefer to keep my past unblemished.
Oh, so you're saying Ambleton wasn't exactly a success story?
Off the record, it was a train wreck. But these kids were delinquents. People seem to lose sight of that fact.
I don't care if some school you headed up didn't work out as planned. This isn't exactly Whitewater here. I just want the names of the kids who attended Ambleton, and I need them now.
It's been a while, Andy, so what brings you down here?
Well, I just wanted to talk to you about your coverage of the Sloan murders. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
How are you guys at keeping a sailor on the holdbacks?
Well, it's tough, you know. A juicy case like that, but we kept a tight lip.
You guys got a hold of some information you shouldn't have. Nobody shot their mouth off about it?
I told you, no. Not that I knew of. Why, what's up?
Oh, it's probably nothing.
I hope you're right. This Sloan thing really hit home. Even hit us here at the Sun.
Really? How so?
Guy we all knew was going to marry one of the victims.
Remember his name?
Marcus Martin. Matthew, that's right. Matthew Smart. Yeah, he delivered coffee to the building.
So you knew him?
Oh, a little. Good guy. Kept his mouth shut when we asked him to.
You asked a lot of questions?
Sure, but who didn't? Everyone wanted to know all the grisly details. Works out of human nature, I guess.
Hi, Trevor.
I've told you all I know.
I want to talk to you, man to man.
I hope you know what you're doing, Andy.
Yeah, so do I.
This is going to make one hell of a story when I go to the papers.
Good. Because I got a story, too. You want to hear it?
Do I have a choice?
Once upon a time, there was a young man. 21 years old, the world at his feet. And one day, he meets a girl. And she's an angel. They fall in love. And he wants them to be together forever. So he asks her to marry him. Right away in the spring. And everything will be perfect. The trouble is, the girl isn't so certain. She wants to put it off. To the summer, maybe. Just to be sure. And then one day, she bumps into an ex-boyfriend. They flirt a little, hit it off. One thing leads to another, sparks fly. And the young man's angel slips away from his grasp. It's over. Later, she returns for her things. And the young man stands idly by and watches. But it chews at him from the inside. She's not his angel anymore. She's a whore. Suddenly he snaps. He picks up the kitchen knife. And his angel is dead. He's horrified. What is he to do? And then it hits him. He can dump the dead girl onto somebody else's dirty laundry.
Good story.
The ending's a little weak. Luckily, I have this.
What's this?
It's called evidence. DNA that proves that Sloan never touched your girlfriend. A newspaper man who will testify he gave you intimate details of the murder, and a very talkative ex-boyfriend. Look at him. Look at him! Samantha never held your hand when she said it was over. That was Trevor. You were on the other end of the line. You wanted to disown the crime. Give it to somebody else. I mean, you couldn't do this. Huh? This? You couldn't do that. How could you have? So why should you have to live with it? You can't bury this one, Matthew.
We used to do that.
Yeah, me too. Though I preferred her whole boat, period.
Don't think Michelle got to hear that when she was dead by then, right?
Yeah, right.
Where'd you get this from?
Michelle's mom.
Oh, yeah? Did you get those files from Ambleton yet?
Harpo and Nico are bringing them in.
Cops aren't supposed to get emotionally involved, right?
Right.
Ah, student body from Ambleton.
Yeah. Looked through a few of them. Not exactly Boys Town.
Yeah, we got whores, junkies, criminals, and DOAs, and we're just getting started.
I found something interesting.
A cold file?
Ken Osborne, shot 3 years ago. And attended Ambleton in 1987.
First Michelle Ripley and Billy Wells, then Kenny Osborne.
Some school. Yeah. Some school. Okay, let's start prioritizing here. Let's get the DOAs up over here, currently incarcerated over here, and let's start weeding through the files for the ones who are still missing. Put them down on the end.